Snore away, bud. Snore away, babe. No, that is not what I want. Good morning, guys. Wow, you're all just filing in. Good morning, Abby Drum. Good morning, Chris Lily J. Good morning, Ducky. Good morning, Rebecca. Good morning, Rose. Good morning, Kristen. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Jamie. Good morning, A Rising Empress. Wow, I love that name. That's a beautiful name. I like that, A Rising Empress. That chick knows what's going on. Hey, Mary, or Stony, I should say. How are you? I'm just sharing out to groups right now. Just give me one moment. I'm over on Facebook trying to share out that we're going live. How are you guys? How was your night? I had the strangest dream last night. I dreamt about Bear, like the spirit of Bear. It was really weird. It almost like I don't know that I was actually even dreaming. I feel like I sort of woke up halfway through the dream and the bear was in the bedroom with me. It was really, really strange. So much so that I was like, I need to remember to get up this morning and look up bear medicine in my cards because I'm not really sure of Bear's story. I mean, I can interpret Bear in a lot of different ways for me personally, but so I was reading Bear this morning, and his in the medicine cards that I have, which I love by Sam Carson, um, his sort of medicine is introspection, and it talks all about going inward and the pineal gland, the center of our head, which we do in our morning breathing exercises, and which I try and sit in during my meditations. And so it was very, very cool to read that story this morning. If any of you would have the, let me show you the box really quick. This is the book that comes with it. It's the medicine cards, but it's an animal deck essentially, but it's based sort of in Native American beliefs, and it's called The Medicine Cards, and it's by, I'm sorry, I said Sam Carson. It's Jamie Sams and David Carson. So I mixed up the names, I cross-referenced the names. But it's a great deck. I actually have 2 copies of it, just through the years. I've always loved it, and have always had a copy around, and at one point I didn't have a copy, so I bought a second. Now that I'm all collected back here, I have 2 on my shelf, and I love it. And Bear's story this morning for me was very beautiful and touching, and reminding me that I need to go inward, and to sometimes it's okay to be in the man cave, as they say. The story was all about going into the cave, and the cave being the mind, or the your brain, your head, and the different areas of the cave, like the east and the on the wheel. I'm sorry, it's early, and I'm gonna screw up the story, but it was a beautiful story. You should check it out. Anyways, I hope you guys slept well. I hope you guys had awesome dreams. I hope yesterday's reading was good for you. Good morning, Amanda Lynn Ray, and good morning, Rebecca Willens. Good morning, That Girl. And Linda Massa, good morning. Thank you so much for my gifts. I'm glad you're here live with us today. My screen seems to be popping. Some weird shit is going on in my house, guys. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm alone. Let's just say that. I'm not sure what's going on in my home, but I've been feeling like I'm not alone, if that makes any sense at all. And I mean that like spiritually. And I'm never alone. I know that to be true. I have my guides with me, my guardian angels. I call them in before doing the forecast, and I bring them in to sort of, protect all of us and also keep me protected and grounded and keep this space protected and grounded as we do this forecast. But there's something else going on, like just strange sounds in the house, lights turning on and off. like, the other day I was in my bedroom and I swear to God, my bathroom light turned off while I was standing outside of the bathroom. And then I went inside to look because I thought a bulb had burnt out in the bathroom because the lights were on. I'm not kidding. And I go in and I look at the wall where the switches are just inside the bathroom door, and they were all down. So I was like, what? So I hit them and they all went on and every bulb in the room turned on. Yet they were all turned off. It was kind of a little bit weird, but I'm not trying to give it too much attention. It's trying to get my attention is what it's doing. And I don't know, I don't feel any threat or worry. It is, you do see flickering, right? A rising Empress, thank you. I see it too. It's like my screen is flickering and it does not normally flicker. And there's been some strain. I'm hooked up to the internet. I'm hooked up and plugged in. I've double checked and checked. Something is trying to get my attention and I don't know what that's about. Maybe I need to go introspective into the cave and start talking to something. I have some things that are going on in the near future, some trips that are planned where I will be going to study with some people, and that might be what's going on for me, is that Spirit is going like, okay, yeah, we're excited, but the flickering is going on, and that's not normal in my broadcast. This morning, it was feeling very strong. Like, I kept looking up to my attic, like, above me. I was hearing sounds above me, like, in the bathroom while I was getting ready, to the point where I thought, do I have squirrels up there? Do I need to call a pest control company out here? And I don't think that's what it is. I think that somebody's trying to get my attention. So, and they sort of have it, but, unless they're paying my rent, I kind of, have to be attentive to other things. I do know that yesterday I unveiled two decks, two angel card decks, that I'm getting ready to use in a pick a card. I don't want to say what the title of the pick a card is. You guys will see it this week. But you guys will see it this week, but it does have to do with sort of angels and that sort of thing. So they might just be really around me right now, trying to like push me forward and keep me on the path. And I appreciate that. And I think that they are, I don't know. I think something's trying to get my attention. Don't know. And the dream last night was so strange. I don't mean to ramble on and make this longer than it needs to be, but I'm gonna go with it really quick. It was like the shadows in the room and the way that I was half awake and what I was dreaming about, I don't know, but there was a giant bear in my room. Not threatening, not scary, but I was like half conscious awake and I was like, okay, there's a bear here, I need to read bear in the morning when I get up. And then I got up later and I kept remembering, and then as I was sitting here after meditating and getting my center on and doing my thing, I was like, okay, I need to read bear. And I did it right before coming on and it was just very appropriate. So, I don't know. Just sharing with you guys a little bit of what goes on in my goofy little life. Still sharing to these groups, just pause for a moment. Please share out the video, like it, comment on it, give it a thumbs up, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube, please. I would greatly appreciate that. We will get to today's card. The cards have been very good this week to us. I feel like they are definitely calling our attention and trying to get us to go inward, like with the healing card that we had, with the body card that we had. These are all ways of introspection, of bear medicine, right? Of going into the cave and sort of speaking to the different components of our body. It's part of the reason why I have us do the three breaths every morning, is so that we get that sort of connection to self. Or at least I do it for me for that. I don't know what you guys are doing it for. I hope that's what you guys are doing it for. You're learning that for yourself. You know, you have your own answers around this stuff, as do I. I just sort of, oh shit, I just posted without sharing it to a group. I get to talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. Let me see here. What am I doing? Pay attention, Dan. And then I don't know, some of these I might be posting double. I hope not, because that could be offensive. And I don't want to offend anybody. You guys please share it out if you can. I would appreciate it. You can hear my dog snoring in the background. Yeah, I don't, and the funny thing is, wait, my grandma wakes up a lot and sees an African warrior man at her bed. She says she thinks he's protecting her, but she never feels scared. It's probably true. It's probably one of her spirit guides, Kristen. Either that or she likes to get down and get freaky in Africa, girl. Just kidding. Oh, I'm such a dork. I'm blushing. Look it, I'm so dumb. Sorry I missed yesterday, but I watched last night and I loved it, and you made my day. Thank you, Linda. My book says your dream symbolizes strength and power. Okay, thank you, Rebecca. I'll take that. Hey, Shar, thank you for sharing. Welcome to the group. My phone is dying. Bye, everyone. I liked and shared. I'll come back and watch. Okay, we'll see you later, Stony. Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing. All right, let me just get this out to the last few groups because I need to. I wish this wasn't so complicated. I wish Facebook made this easier for us so that I could just get cracking on the reading. But I have to do this every morning. Or I wish there was a way to do it before going live, but it's not possible. So, I'm not gonna let it bother me. I'm not gonna let it bother me. Share one more time. Come on, ding dong. There's just some really good groups out there that do post for me and do allow these to be shared, and a lot of people I think see the videos and enjoy them, or I hope that's the case. So that's why I do this every morning, is to help serve a purpose, a higher good for people, for myself included. And that's why I ask you guys to also share it out, just to help get it out there. This is a lot of monotony, puts me off of getting together with you guys immediately once you guys come into the room. So I appreciate your patience. I have one more to do, and then I think we're good to go. There we go. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I just shared to that group. Sorry, I don't want to do that. Let's change that really quick. This is a lot of trying to keep it straight when you're trying to just get to the cards. And I don't know a lot about keeping things straight, let's just say that. I think that is shared out to everybody now, and if it's not, then people are just going to have to find me. I'll have to trust it. I have been praying to the drop the phone. I have been praying to the angels, just like, help me figure this out. Social media has never been my strong suit, nor is technology. I'm not sure why the flickering's still happening, but we'll just pretend we're in a disco and it's a strobe light today. So party down, people. Let's start with our three breaths. Good morning, Ramona Grimes. Good morning, Melissa Lee Hickman. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Judy Crosley. Good morning, Shar. Thank you for the compliment on the angel wings. It's my chair. Uh, Kristen, you're laughing at me. Here's the link to follow me wherever you want to follow me. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm new to Instagram. Please help me to gain followers over there. I'm still learning how to use Instagram. You can also join our Facebook group. Good morning, Jen Nichols. We're loving the deck. I am going to put up a poll today on whether or not we want to continue to use this deck through next week or maybe even through the remainder of the month. And then we might do a poll on what time we want to start this. But I'm kind of enjoying just starting when I'm ready. So maybe that's the thing. I don't know. I sometimes when I pen myself into a specific time, then my energy gets a little frantic because I'm like, oh my god, I gotta be on, I gotta be on, I gotta be on. So this has been working well for me, but it sort of is not fair for you guys because you guys might want a set time. So maybe I'll just do a poll in the Engelgeist group on Facebook about whether or not you even want a set time or if you guys like sort of the trusting of the universe and the flowing of whenever. Alright, so anyways, enough said on all of that. Oh, I don't have my super lighting. There we go. That's a little bit better, right? Okay, so let's do our 3 breaths. For those of you that are new, we breathe through our nose deep into the belly, imagining positive energy or positive, I do positive signs, flowing into the body and just sort of spreading out through the body. It's just bringing in new, fresh, positive, present time energy into the body. And as we exhale through the mouth, we want to imagine minus signs leaving our mouth. And that's the negative, stale, outdated energy or energy that maybe belongs to somebody else that we don't need or require in our space. We can exhale that and let that go. Any tension in the body, anything that's just not working for us. And all that needs to be is our intention of doing that, right? So as we do that, let's bring our attention with the first breath to the body, thanking the body as we hold the breath before releasing. And then we go to the second breath for the mind and holding it and also thanking our mind and then releasing. And then the third breath would be the spirit, which would be the highest vibration that we have on this plane currently that we're working with consciously. And we want to acknowledge the spirit and thank it for its gifts and what it does for us and release that breath. So if you'll close your eyes and join me, it just helps to bring us into present time and get ready for the message this morning. So and those of you that want to put down a grounding cord, you can imagine a cord of energy right now from the base of your spine and connecting to your first chakra and going down in through the floor of wherever you're at into the earth and all the way down to the center of the earth, connecting and attaching to the center of the earth. And just allow for energy to flow down that line of energy with ease. Just intend for it. You don't have to force it. There doesn't need to be any effort. So let's take that first breath in through the nose and hold at the top of the breath to allow the oxygen to sort of permeate our bloodstream and our brain. So let's breathe in through the nose, deep into the belly, and hold. And exhale out through the mouth. Thanking the body for the vehicle and the beautiful component that it is to our life, regardless of what our beliefs are, what our pictures are around our body, just thanking it and being in gratitude for everything that our body does for us in this present moment. Let's take in a second breath through the nose. And release, thanking the mind for the beautiful tool that it is, for the computer system and the inner workings of what it does for us, both positive and negative, how it teaches us, trains us, shows us, and finds our answers for us. Just be grateful for it in this present moment as best we can. And let's take in a third breath. Here comes the cat. And hold. Bring your attention to the center of your head, the space behind your eyes if you can, and release, thanking the spirit for all that it does, both that we're consciously aware of and unconsciously aware of. The spirit is always with us. We want to acknowledge it and and give it its due press, its gratitude for carrying us through life and bringing us along this journey. And let's open our eyes. Welcome to Wednesday the 18th of September, guys. Sorry that took a little while, but let's get to the card for the day. Those of you that know, hey, good morning, Michaela. Those of you that know, thank you, Shar, for saying love it. Please subscribe. I'll put in the link. You can subscribe to the business page and follow it so you can be notified. I do this every morning. On Friday and Saturday nights, I have charm events. I also have pick a cards and all sorts of things on my YouTube. So if you do love it, it's a great community of people. You're free to join us. We come here every morning and we do that. It was powerful this morning, wasn't it, a Rising Empress? It was. It felt really good. It's nice to bring it into present time. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you would like. So I'm going to shuffle the cards. Give me one moment. Spirit, please give us a card that best represents for that at the collective, the forecast today for Wednesday, September 18th. What do we need to know? What is the highest energies that we're working with? Or what do we need to be aware of? Where would it serve our highest good for both those of us that are watching live now and those of us that may tune in at any given time in the future? What card or what awareness is going to serve us most as a group, as a collective? So we're working, for those of you that are new, we're working with a beautiful new deck called the Literary Witches. That was a gift from one of my viewers, Jen Nichols, who's here in the room. And we've been loving this deck. It's been my first time doing the weekly forecast. I generally work with tarot decks. I do have oracle decks, but I've never done a weekly forecast with oracle decks. This is a meaty oracle deck. I've done an unboxing video. It's 70 cards, so it feels similar to a tarot deck, which I think is nice. But it's very feminine, empowering, which I love. And the messages have been very strong this week. They've been beautiful and soft, subtle, but yet strong. And so it's been lovely. So feeling this energy and working with a different deck, it's like I'm learning a new language. And I've been enjoying it. And I think that the ladies that tune in, and even the gentlemen that may tune in that don't speak up, are enjoying it. There seems to be something going on. And now my dreams are getting weirder. So I don't know. Bears are showing up in my bedroom and shit. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to enjoy it. I loved it. So the energy, I have to say, with the shuffle, it feels good. It feels productive. These cards are new, so they feel a little bit stiff. So I'm going to blame the stiffness on the cards, not on us. I don't think that we're going to be too stiff this week. I feel like these cards are very clear and concise. Like, we get to choose this week is what I want to say as I'm shuffling these cards. We get to pick and choose where we put our attention and our intention. We get to look at what we want to deal with and how we want to deal with it, and we're empowered to go about doing that, okay? That feels good. I feel like Spirit is saying, okay, we're good. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do a little explanation because some of you know this, but we do have some new viewers. With this deck, there's Literary Witches, and I feel like because it's a 70-card deck, the Literary Witches are only the first, I don't know, maybe 20 cards of the deck, which is similar to the Major Arcana in a tarot deck. That's how I'm looking at it. So when we get a Literary Witch, I feel like there's a little bit more of a stronger push, a stronger message than some of the other cards. Now I am going to flip the camera so you guys can see what the card is. So let me center this. That's my dog sleeping over there in the corner. Don't mind the little picture of dog butt happening. He's got such a cute little hiney. You should see him when he runs. He hops like a rabbit. It's the cutest thing ever. All right, so our literary witch today, we're getting another literary witch. We've gotten quite a few. Is Emily Bronte, and she is fantasy. Okay. Again, I've got to say this, like straight out of the gate, before even going into the book, because I'm still learning this deck, and I don't know. I have yet to read all of the literary witches' stories as to who they are. I mean, we've all heard of Emily Bronte. I believe she wrote Wuthering Heights. She was a very famous writer. I don't know her story of her life, though, but I imagine it's probably colored and amazing. There's been, movies written about her and things like that. But I have to say this. This is what I'm initially getting hit on with this card. First off, these tree branches here are very interesting to me. They feel like protection. They feel, because they're white, they feel like spiritual protection over us. Those of us that believe in that sort of a thing, that spiritual protection is there and available to us. I also like these little green leaves that dot here. It means that there's spiritual growth that's happening within us, within our connection to spirit, and within our protection of ourselves in spirit. Again, I have to say this, there's this definite emphasis on home. She's holding this giant home in her house, or our center, our where our home is. That could be the home of our heart, or that could be the home, our actual physical home for some of us. But I feel like there is an emphasis on the home, or feeling centered and protected in our own space, in our own heart, in our own being and who we are, right? The fact that this is the fantasy card says to me, before even reading the book, I want to interpret this as fantasize today, dream a little bit, have some joy, have some idea of what it is you maybe want, how it is you maybe want it, what looks good to you, which way, oh, here we go. Spirit's telling me to say to you, which way do we want our branches to grow? Which way do we want these branches and this sort of, they almost look to me like lightning bolts in a strange way, like profound sort of thought or spiritual connection, our own spirit maybe even, and the fantasy of that, not that it is a fantasy as if it's not real, but we can play in that fantasy and create from that fantasy. There's this other thing that's pulling me here. I feel like she's missing at the hips, right? She doesn't have her hips here. She's sort of disconnected at the hips. And what this says to me is that it's about not necessarily becoming ungrounded, because the earth is here, she is grounded, we are grounded in, like, say, the home of our heart, or in our own physical reality in our home, and the protection of that, the creation of that, the sort of solidifying of that, the care of that. But I do want to say that in fantasy or in dreaming, we do need to allow ourselves that space to sort of rise up, maybe unground momentarily, and allow ourselves to dream or to live in the fantasy. And that's what these missing hips, or this missing connection here to me. We still stay grounded through the material world, which is this house, right? Which is our home, our career, who we are, but we are allowed to dream. What more do we want? What more do we want to create today, this midweek point? What more do we want to fantasize about, and how does that fantasy feel? Are we fantasizing or worrying? Because worry can be a form of fantasy. Worry can be a thought process that's happening to us that negatively is affecting us, and we could be manifesting that and not even realize it. Or are we feeling protected? Are we feeling that we are in charge? I feel like when I look at Miss Bronte here, Miss Bronte if you're nasty, right? I feel like when you look at Emily Bronte here, she feels in control. She feels in charge. Some of you do feel tentative with this idea. I look at this face here, and I do see this slight, not only do I see her being in charge and in control, sorry, my dog is snoring. Not only do I see her being in charge and in control, but the face does sometimes shift for me a little bit into a little bit of tentativeness, which I feel like there might be some of you out there that are fearful of fantasizing, or maybe wary of fantasizing for fear of what you may create. Do not fear today. You are protected, is what this card is saying to me. It's what Spirit is saying to me. Grow a little bit. Grow these leaves on these trees, and allow Spirit to show you what it is you're capable of through fantasy and through dreaming and through ideas, through possibility. It's like dwell in possibility today. Now, I want to go back to this week, because I feel like these literary witches are showing up, and I feel like they pack a little extra punch, similar to the major arcana in our normal tarot decks, right? I'm gonna just switch the cameras. I'll hold Emily because of the poll in the group where you guys said hold the card, make this bitch work. So I feel like these cards give us a much more like they're calling out to us at a deeper level. They're calling out to us in a louder way. They're trying to say, take this time to have that communication, have that dream, have that fantasy, build it, create it, make it real, even if it doesn't feel real. Focus on it and allow it to become real. Spirit will help you to work through the belief around it, and then you can have it. So, what I want to say here is I just want to like refer back to my calendar because I write down all of the cards so that I can tie it back into Sunday and the previous days. And we had on Sunday, we had that lantern and the cat, which that cat, if you go back and look at Sundays, there was a domestication thing, and I think I referenced the home space. We are at the midweek, and the cat was the midweek card, right? So I said to you, some of you are going to be focused on the home and domestic things. She's showing us that again today. But she's in more control here. I feel like some of you that might have been more scared in that cat card are coming through. Like these cards are helping you to feel more self-assured. I feel like she feels more self-assured today. Ooh, I'm getting like the chills right now. So that is an affirmation that indeed somebody out there is agreeing with me. And then we had Leslie Moore. I want to. Am I pronouncing this correct? We had Leslie Mormon Silko, which was Community on the Sunday, and then the last 2 days we've had literary witches, and this is our third literary witch coming in today. So we had healing on Monday. We had the body, which was Sandra Cisneros yesterday, and she was bringing us into this place of also like looking at our body, communicating with our body, and that would make sense because if we are communicating with our body at our the body to me is the like sort of the heaviest or densest vibration that we work with on the planet. It's our lower three chakras. I mean, the body is all of our chakras, right? But where we're producing through the body is through on the material plane is through the lower three chakras. So we were honoring the body yesterday. Today we get to go a little bit higher and honors maybe the heart. What is the desire of the heart? What is the fantasy in our heart? Or what is the fantasy in our sixth chakra? Or in our crown chakra, in our knowing? What is it that we want? How is it that we want it? How is it that we want to grow it and connect to it? And so we're we're being told today through the literary witches to do that, to allow yourself to sort of come up a little bit. We've honored the body, we've grounded ourselves. She is still grounded, the earth is still there, but she's allowing herself to dream, to rise up a little bit up out of her material world and look at things from a bigger picture with a more spiritual perspective and ask herself, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I want to create? You know, witches are good at creating, and witches are not bad things. We've got to remember this too. A lot of where Christian theology and the, you know, the religion that we know of today stems from Wicca, like their holidays and their ceremonies and stuff. They stole it from the feminine-centered religion of Wicca and nature-based religions. So, and then they persecuted them. So I just have to call that out for those of you that might be looking at this and going, witches, and he's got angel wings, what's he doing? To me, this is about feminine empowerment, and there's nothing wrong in that. And I think that we have lived as a male-dominated culture for a really long time, and look at where it's gotten us, and maybe bringing some of this energy back in and balancing of the two would assist us in evolving as a whole. So I want you guys to think about fantasy today. I want you to think about, you know, the fantasy maybe isn't just a fantasy. Maybe the building of the belief and the feeling of the good or what it is that we do want maybe might actually give us like brilliant ideas of thought. And we're protected today, right? And these are tree branches certainly, but they could be also like bolts of lightning or illumination that show us exactly what we maybe want or what we want to create, and we have the power to go about creating it in maybe the weeks to come. Okay, so I just want you to say that to you guys, and I'm so happy that you all tuned in. Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Judy Crosley. I'm not sure what the LOL is. Thank you, Monica Hernandez Swank. I got chills at the same time. Oh my God, thank you. I did too. That's Spirit talking through us. Please like, share, subscribe, you guys. Jen Nichols, I love this deck too. It is strong. Jen Nichols says over on Facebook, on YouTube, she says she loves this deck. It's strong yet graceful, feminine energy. It's beautiful. It really, really is. And let's look at the bottom of the deck energy just to see. It's another literary witch. It's Agatha Christie. So you guys, and this is trickery. So be careful. Don't get tricked by your own worries. Don't get tricked by your own fears, is what that says to me right there. Trickery means like we're on the offensive versus this card here to me in fantasy, we're more open. We're not defensive. We're just open to the idea of what feels good, what do we want, what can we create. Agatha Christie comes in on the bottom of the deck energy, which would be the antithesis of what this card is to me today. So she's saying, like, be careful of trickery. Don't trick yourself out of believing that you can't create and have what it is that you want. Okay? Live in the joy, live in the fantasy if you can. So just for today, right? Just for today. And I think that will also produce some of the effects. See, the lights keep like dimming. Like, it's really weird. Something is going on in my household. Um, so, uh, and I think that this fantasy also brings about some of those cards. You know, it brings us closer to our community. We are ending on that Literary Witch community card from Sunday. If you haven't watched Sunday's broadcast, go back and watch it. You can watch the previous 2 broadcasts of this week. These are the energies we're working with. As I said, each card for each day sort of helps to build upon Sunday's reading, which is the underpinning energy of the week. So that gives you a little bit more insight. I am available for private readings. Please go to YouTube and like, subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be notified whenever I go live. Watch my unboxing videos, guys. I have a bunch of unboxing videos of different decks that I am opening up and putting into play, so to speak. As I do that, I think my next poll will be, like, I'm gonna unbox the decks that I want to use in maybe, say, next month. And I'll do unboxing videos for them, upload them all on the same day, and then over the course of, say, like a 3-day period, the unboxing video that gets the most likes and views will be the winner of the poll for what we use for the next week or however long. Does that make sense? But I'm digging these Literary Witches right now, so we might stay with them through the month of September if that's okay with you guys. Maybe even October, I don't know. October's a kind of a witchy month too. But they are bringing us a lot. Linda Massa says, I fantasize at work all the time. Well, that's a great place to fantasize. But, you know, be aware that your fantasies could become realities if they feel really good and you're putting your intention and your attention in there. That's the energy that you're feeding to that thing that then becomes, you know, it starts to take form and vibration and become more solidified, and then it starts to come to you. And that can work in both positive and in negative ways. So don't, you know, be careful. I'm not saying that Agatha Christie's card is a bad card, but trickery to me, and also Agatha Christie always wrote like those murder mysteries and things, you know, like trying to solve the problem or things being more complicated than they needed to be. So let's not make them more complicated today for some of us that might have that going on in the background. What else do I want to say? It's all just energy, guys. You know this. I say it to you every day. If you are feeling rough or having a hard time, you know, find the gratitude, find find a way to reestablish your relationship to whatever might be plaguing you or bothering you. And by the way, thank you, Linda Massa, for the cup. I use it every morning now. It is a happy fall. I don't even know if it is fall yet, if it's considered fall, but I love looking at this cup. Yeah, so it is all just energy. If you find the gratitude and you find the connection to it in a more positive light, or raise your vibration around the situation will indeed change. So I truly believe that. So I leave that with those of you that might be having a harder time. I also wish you guys all the best. Please tune in tomorrow morning for the next forecast. And again, Friday and Saturday night will be charm reading nights. If you guys don't know what a charm reading is, you can check out my videos. They're usually like long, they're about 2 hours, but they're charming events that will happen where I read the charms. And what else? Please like and share and subscribe and do all that stuff. I feel like there's something else. Oh, and in the Engelgeist group is the Amazon wish list. If there's anything on the Amazon wish list that you feel like you want to see unboxed, like Jen did, she sent me this deck from my Amazon wish list and another deck, Affirmators, which I have not unboxed yet, which I will. It's in my pile of things I need to unbox. Feel free to do so, and you just pick it off the list, it mails to me, and then we will unbox it and then maybe use it as a later forecast deck. This has been very wonderful and powerful, and it's been a big winner amongst everybody. Everybody's really enjoying it. So, you guys have a great day. I'm going to go do some unboxing videos because there's some energy cards that I want to do, because I want to do some readings, some picker cards around people's energy and what kind of energy we're running in our lives. I'm still working. Just bear with me. Bear with me. I'm just I'm putting it all together, and I have plans. Spirit is talking to me, but uh, these cards that I'm unboxing are all going into different pick a cards will then be videotaped and released. So please be patient. And thank you for supporting the channel. Without you guys, there would be no channel. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys go out today and have the best day possible. Enjoy your day and fantasize a bit. Play in the feelings and thoughts of what if. Dwell in possibility today, guys. Okay? Thank you and have a great day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.